Where'd you come from?
Mother Russia, by way of Mother Africa.
Kraven the Hunter, son of a Russian aristocrat, founding member of the Sinister Six, and a longtime foe in Spider-Man's downright terrifying rogues gallery. From his attempts at catching Spidey to his impressive feats of strength, it's no wonder this wild barbarian is getting his own cinematic spotlight. But, like with all cult classic villains and anti-heroes, there's more to him than meets the eye. Did you know that he wasn't even all that popular in his original runs? In fact, at one point, the writers even decided to kill him off for good in 1989 until the Last Hunt arc ended up becoming a cult classic and reviving the character's popularity. Kinda ironic, cause that is the same story in which he straight up points a rifle in his face and blows his brains off. Comics are something else, huh? Weirdly enough, did you also know that at one point, Kraven was even a part of a prototype Avengers? Yup, really. As part of the 1959 Avengers storyline, Nick Fury gathered the likes of Kraven, Namora, and Sabretooth among others in order to take down the remaining forces of Nazi Germany. But you know, don't let the name fool you, nor the fact that Nick Fury was involved. These guys genuinely had next to nothing in common with the actual Avengers. But again, comics and all. Oh, and speaking of weird storylines, if I had a quarter for every time Kraven was fused together with a different character, I'd have two, which isn't much, but it's really odd how it happened twice. In Infinity Wars issue 3, Gamora would end up assembling the Infinity Stones and creating what's known as the Warp World, in which all characters are warped, or rather combined, versions of two characters. In the case of Kraven, he would fuse together with the mercenary Rube Bushman, becoming Sergei Bushman, which is probably the lamest name in comic history. Meanwhile, in the case of Spider-Man life story, a cancer-ridden Kraven becomes the next host for the Venom symbiote, which stops the Hunter from committing suicide. Technically, it didn't even save him, as the symbiote continued to operate the body long after Kraven passed. Disturbing? Absolutely.
Mr. Taglin? Where's Mr. Taglin?
Oh, you're standing. What's even more interesting about Kraven is his familial relations. He ain't the only mentally unstable evildoer in the family, and it shows. Specifically, his brother is Dmitry Smerdyakov, who is in fact the very first villain to appear in the Spider-Man franchise, the Chameleon. I guess they had to stick with the Animal Kingdom theme when making Kraven, huh? What's more is that if not for Chameleon, Kraven wouldn't have even been a part of Peter Parker's life. It was Kraven's brother who initially gave him the idea of hunting the spider, which would spiral into a lifelong obsession. And on that note, in the special issue titled Soul of the Hunter, Spider-Man discovered an unexpected connection with the Big K when confronted by the embodiment of death itself. It was revealed that Kraven's longing for peace was hindered by his own suicide, creating a weird spiritual bond between them. To grant Kraven the solace he sought, Spidey was asked to intervene, but he rejected the idea due to the whole getting buried alive part in the Last Hunt. In the end, a trace of compassion emerged within old Spidey, and so he engaged in a battle against Kraven's lifeless body, eventually triumphing and granting Kraven's spirit the rest it yearned for.
You're a goddamn lunatic.
Oh, you just figured that out now?
While it's still early to say what the cinematic future of Kraven will be like, there's a few peculiar little tidbits about the making of the Kraven movie we figured you'd like to know about. For one, did you know that before the casting of Aaron Taylor Johnson, the role of Kraven was offered to Keanu Reeves, Adam Driver, and even Brad Pitt? Moreover, Sam Raimi even considered Kraven as a potential villain for the cancelled Spider-Man 4. Not enough? To further put salt on the wound, Kraven was even teased at the end of Amazing Spider-Man 2, and we all know how that went. With all that said, are you folks looking forward to Kraven's big screen debut? Be sure to share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you're a fan of deep dives surrounding cult classic villains, then you'd most likely enjoy the rest of our Curious Rhino episodes on comics, movies, and more. Consider dropping a like and a sub, as every little bit helps this Rhino. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you again. Same channel, different time.